All right, hey, welcome to another Winning Series interview. This week, you guys are going to freaking love it. We've got GSDmode, Joshua Smith out of Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome to the interview today, man. Why don't you just give us a second, in 60 seconds or less, give us a synopsis of where you've been, where you are today, and where you're going.
All right, so 23 years old, moved out to Arizona from Michigan, college dropout.
Did I lose you?
Yeah, we did, I guess, for a second.
Sorry, we're back on. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so 23 years old, moved to Arizona from Michigan, and decided to get in real estate. I was in the health club business before I got into real estate, and decided to get in real estate. I should have gotten the business to go open up a health club. Yeah, I was 23 years old, wanted to open up my own gym. It was going to cost $800,000 to open my own facility. Decided could get a loan. So I was like, all right, real estate's cool. I love people. I'll work my ass off. Go out here, bank some cash, work some cash. And what happened to that journey? I just fell in love with real estate. I always say the health club business is my passion. The real estate business has become my obsession, right? So first year in the business, I had a good year, dude. Second year, started my team, kind of hit a capacity. And since then, I've continued to just grow the team, man. So
What year was your first year in real estate?
So 2005.
Okay.
Got licensed. I did 48 deals my first year. Realized because in 2005 things were a lot different than they are today, right? So
yeah,
it took me so much longer. I mean, YouTube didn't exist. Studies of facts and shit. I still had to actually meet clients to sign paperwork, right? So plus I was doing, it's just called a job experience. You increase your capacity over time. So I was working from 4 a.m. to midnight. I'm like, holy shit, dude! I've hit this glass ceiling. I wanted to double my business the next year, but I couldn't fathom, unless I delegated and got some help, how I could even add another transaction a month to my business. So at that point, I had employed my first assistant, who's my team manager still with me today. So she's been with me since the end of 2005, but didn't kick up my feet. Dude, it was okay. Let me keep pounding the pavement. Let's just keep doing this stuff. She's going to be doing this for 8 hours a day for me. So let me just prospect that much harder. And then about 6 weeks after I employed her, I remember the phone call like it was yesterday. I had a buyer call in, and they wanted me to look at some homes. I pull out my schedule at this time, big ass day planner, and I'm 3 weeks booked out, dude. 3 weeks booked out from taking out a buyer, and I lost the buyer because buyers will wait like maybe 3 days, but not 3 weeks. So I'm like, okay, at this point, now I'm losing a lot of money. So that's when I started hiring buyer agents, and by the end of my second year, I had 6-8 buyers agents, and then a lot of gnarly things have happened inside through that span. I mean, in Phoenix, that was all happening when the biggest booms that our city's ever seen. And then all of a sudden, just overnight, flipped on a dime, and now homes that I was selling for $500,000, I'm selling for $175,000. Lots that I was selling for $150,000, I'm now selling for $5,000. So we just the cool part is, dude, is I was blessed to really get licensed at the age and at the time that I did, because I was so young and dumb. Like I had no idea really what I was doing. Every single day I was literally just trying to move, shift, shake, adapt. It was every day was just solving so many massive problems. So when the market changed, I was so used to just adapting every day. I didn't have bad habits yet. So we were really able to make that transition very, very easily into short sales REOs. And when I say very easily, people are always like, because I was a top 100 team in the nation before the market crashed. And then, so I built a $1 million GCI business within 2.5 years. And then the market started crashing. So, people are always like, oh, dude, would you go, you go to an REO conference? I mean, how did you meet these asset managers? I'm like, no, it took about 10,000 guys. It was my prospecting time. Instead of doing open houses, door hangers, calling expireds, whatever I was doing at that time, it went now to just calling on asset managers. So I don't know how but I locked myself in my closet and just banging out 4 or 5 hours of calls every day, because I knew at that time if we did make this shift, we were going to have to retract on a heavy level. And to me, I'm not a guy that has straight up monetary goals. It's just hardcore growth. To me in life, you're either growing or you're dying. Life is about growth. So to me, I refuse to retract in any aspect of my life. So I'm like, okay, we can't retract. So we got to figure this out. So literally, dude, 4, 5, 6 hours on some days just dialing. And about 6 months into that, lined up with 38 asset managers, that we work for. Next thing you know, we have 350 properties, assets, and we're able to transition in that. And then, of course, you're doing that, and that's a whole different breed. Kicking people out of their homes and showing up with the sheriff and delivering eviction notices, and it's a crazy business, dude. I'm glad I'm out of it.
So let's back up real quick, and before I do, I just want to let everyone know watching, on the link that I had sent out to you, go ahead and you can start putting your questions on there. We'll get to those towards the end of this. I'm sure you'll have a lot for. By the way, do you go by Josh or Joshua?
It's fine. Either way is fine.
Okay, cool. I didn't want to. I know that's important. So Josh will more than likely answer a lot of your questions coming up here. So going back here, 2006. That sounds like your second year in real estate. You went from 48 deals. How many in year two?
To 2006, it was, I don't know the exact number. I know it sounds bad, but it was in the 120 range.
Okay.
But at that point too, like I said, at that point, that's where I learned the power of leverage. And because some people will sit there and hear this, like, well, how did you figure this out? Like, how did you figure that out at 24 years old? Well, dude, I was in the health club industry before I got into real estate. And I was with a large national franchise. So I had access to a lot of the best sales training that exists, right? So at that time, before I got in real estate, I was running as a district sales manager of 5 facilities, overseeing about 80 salespeople. So I knew a lot of this, so a lot of these tactics, okay, there's a lot of differentiation between the health club business into real estate, but kind of like you and I talked about before, at the end of the day, we're not realtors, we're entrepreneurs. Real estate is a product that we happen to be involved in. The overall process, and I operate 4 other businesses in addition to my real estate business. My real estate business today, I literally probably spend about 2 or 3 hours max in it, right? So it's my least kind of involved business, even though it's still, we're averaging 53 home closings a month right now, still growing it. But the correlations are the same. But the little intricate processes to the sales funnel deviate. So I was able to kind of tie that in pretty quickly to what it translates to in the real estate business. And but like I said, 40 deals was my max. So when I say I went from, because a lot of people sit there and say, oh, this agent went from doing 60 deals a year to doing 300 deals a year. That agent didn't go from doing 60 deals a year to 300 deals a year. Right? They didn't. Greatness can't be achieved alone. They had a team. It's a team of individuals. So when I say that, hey, yeah, we doubled our business and kind of continued that pace for years, it was just because I kept adding more talent. And I learned greatness can't be achieved alone. Like right now, okay, yeah, we're averaging 53 closings a month. Dude, I'm not on one of those. People come up to me and be like, oh, Josh, you're so awesome. I'm like, hell no, dude. It's these guys that are badass.
Yeah.
I can't take the credit for any of it.
So hold on. I want to point this out for you guys watching, whether now or in the future. Key word that Josh is saying is leverage. You've got to be able to leverage your time. There's a mindset, and even though you're an agent, you're not necessarily an entrepreneur if you're trading time for dollars, right? You've got to learn to expand based on that word. So what are maybe 2 or 3 key indicators for those guys watching on that word leverage that you could teach these viewers?
So trust equals capacity. You'll never grow your organization unless you learn to trust and delegate tasks out to other people. So you got to know the game. Know the game that we're playing. Know the game that we're in. I get real estate's not a game. That's how we provide opportunities for our family. But if we pretend it's a game, you're here to win, which I hope all of you are here to win. You define winning for your own life. But whatever that means to you, the only way you're going to win is to know the game. So then, okay, how do I need to add people to make sure that I'm playing the game and nothing's getting missed? So for me, it's literally, you never grow a team. And I get reached out, 10 times a week from agents with this question. Hey, I want to start a team. When should I start it? I say there's nothing wrong with wanting to start a team. Every real estate agent should want to start a team because otherwise you'll never have a business. You always have a job. Every time you take a break, you're restarting over. Right? So everybody should everybody should have a desire to at some point create a team so then you can actually have a business and have a life. But you never start a team out of want. It's always out of necessity. So I always hit capacity. So 48 homes, like I said, did 48 homes, working for them to midnight. Okay, I'm at my max capacity at that time. I couldn't figure out how to add more deals. So then it was, okay, well, let me then delegate, bring on an assistant. And in 2005, not that teams weren't around, but YouTube didn't exist. It's kind of crazy to think YouTube didn't.
It's so crazy.
So it doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but I guess it was, right? So I didn't have a lot of the team training that you go out there and you see today on YouTube and whatnot, right? So I'm out there trying to figure this out on my own, but luckily I had kind of some sales training, entrepreneur training in my background. So I knew, okay, I've got to delegate out my lowest dollar producing activities, which was all the paperwork stuff, the admin, support staff. But it's all I'm doing, and every business that I do is just eliminate capacities. So I get here, I hit a capacity. Okay, how do I grow? So whether does that mean a system, a piece of technology, a human being? What do I've got to do to allow myself to remove that capacity? And I think for real estate agents, one thing that we've got to understand is, and here's kind of the philosophy I've always followed, right? So, okay, I'm going to be a single agent. I'm going to learn everything, do everything. I think when people sit there and say, "Oh, hire an assistant right out the gate," I think it's a huge mistake, dude. Like you got to learn the business. Learn, go close a dozen deals yourself. Learn the business. Learn the transaction management piece. Because then, how can I manage and train and inspect what I expect on an assistant if I've never done the assistant role, right? So okay, so I'm going to do that until I get to the point where I'm at my max capacity. Then I'm going to bring on an assistant. So then I can focus on, there's only 3 areas that you make money in real estate, which is, I don't care, we go prospecting, lead gen time, but it's setting appointments. Number 2 is conducting the appointments. Number 3 is negotiating contracts. So everything else, you got to start delegating, right? So then, okay, now I'm busy. I got 3 weeks booked out from being able to get buyers on my calendar, on my schedule. So then again, okay, what do I have the most capacity? Where's my most limited capacity? And how do I delegate this? So at that time, it became buyers, right? You needed buyer agents. And I'm probably a little bit of a maverick in the industry where I think it's utter BS when people say listings are the name of the game. Closings are the name of the game. Listings become the name of the game for a high-producing agent or a team leader once they hit a certain capacity, a certain point in their business. So listings are most time-consuming, most costly, whatever. Like in the beginning, I was telling the agents, just focus solely on buyers. It'll cost you anything. You can slay it with them, build your business that way. Plus, they become the raving fans for the future. Sellers, it's hard to create a seller into a hardcore raving fan, right? So, but then I get to a point where now I've got these 6 buyers agents. I'm the listing agent, but I'm also running this team, and my max capacity there was about 60 listings. So I realized, okay, I can't do anything. I mean, I can't create more than 24 hours in a day, dude.
Yeah.
So then at that point, then I brought on a listing agent once I hit that capacity, right? So then I got to a point where I was like, okay, I got 2 choices here. I can go on this listing presentation, meet this client, work with this client, and sell this one house. And maybe I do a great job and they refer me through the career another 10 people. Or I could spend that same amount of time, money, energy, effort, go out there and recruit an agent to join my team, and that agent could bring me in 50 deals a year. Right? So then next thing I know, I fire myself from the business. I'm recruiting agents because it's just increasing the capacities. What is the most strategic, smart way for me to grow my business? And then now at the point where I'm at, where now I'm hiring recruiters to do the recruiting. So now I'm adding 2+ team members every single week, and it's a funky spot where I'm at right now because I'll show up to my team meetings and I don't know anybody. Really hard to be. It's the first time I've ever been there.
You're meeting them. That's awesome.
But and then it'll be okay. Let me start hiring the recruiter that hires the recruiters. So it's just increasing those capacities.
So I want to do a timeout real quick. And one of the things is, I'm really skilled at phone call prospecting. That's how I built my whole business. And I seen the model really expand the last several years with the ISAs. And I have so many clients, coaching clients come to me and say, hey, I want to hire ISAs, yet they themselves are not doing the work. And I want to really indicate that right here with the message Josh is passing is maximum capacity. You've got to be able to do the work first before you can leverage and bring on talent. I mean, is that a fair assessment of what you're saying in a nutshell, Josh?
Yeah, okay. So here's how I'm going to roll with that. I'm going to go out there and do all of the lead gen, because I think that's the last thing you should ever give up in your business. That's the most important thing. And it's not the lead generation, it's the setting appointments. Leads are irrelevant. It's our inability to convert leads to appointments. That's the issue in our industry. So that's the last thing that I'm going to give up. So I'm going to make sure I'm at my max capacity there. But the other important thing too is, yes, you're totally right there. But the other thing too, like if you don't master that skill, if you don't master each skill as you're climbing up the ladder, whatever you want to say there, how the hell are you going to train that person? How are you going to inspect what they expect? How do I know if I'm doing a good, if my ISA is doing good or bad, or what their conversion ratios are, what the choke points are? You know, like, hey, I got to be able to identify where those choke points. As a CEO of our businesses, right, we've got this ship. You're always going to have holes in your ship. Your job is to become a badass hole plugger. You know, right? So I'm just plugging holes. Well, if I don't know each one of those areas, at least to an extent, I don't know how to identify those holes. So I don't know if I have a good ISA. You know, I mean, people want to go hire ISAs because at the end of the day, they're fucking lazy. You know, that's what it comes down to. They're lazy and they're too much of a wuss to pick up this phone, piece of plastic with a stranger that doesn't give a shit about them and their family, and they let that stifle their career.
Well, if going back, clear back to where you started when you were talking about prospecting asset managers. See, whether it's on the phones, whether it's door knocking, whether it's doing open houses, massive open houses, whether it's creating online leads, right? You've got to be doing something that creates people to have conversations with and set appointments. That is what we're trying to do, is set appointments, qualified presentations, get them signed, negotiate contracts. And I think you've pointed that out with no matter how the market is shifting, you've had to really, I guess, evolve with the market in creating mass amount of appointments. Would you say that's what you've done?
Yeah, dude, and it's, you know, it's not the strongest that survive. It's those that adapt and move and shift and change the quickest that always survive, right? So yeah, you've got to be able to adapt and shift with the marketplace. And like you just kind of alluded on, my business, for example, you guys, has done nothing but grown since 2005. This isn't bragging. This is just, I mean, it's the reality of it. So it doesn't matter, boom, bust, massive foreclosures, everything in between. We've grown every single year, not just survived, but been able to thrive every single year. And why is that? It's because, dude, we focused on what you were just talking about, is, okay, identifying what are the activities we need to be focused on in the year that we're living, in the marketplace that we're on, and making sure those activities are hit heavily daily. So before that, I'm doing open houses, I'm doing 50,000 door hangers a month, I'm doing all this other stuff. Now my activities go hardcore into asset management. You know, then what are my activities today? My activities today are Facebook. Like I'm not a cold call. I don't call. I don't door knock. I don't do that. Right? I'm heavy Facebook. I'm heavy open houses. So that changes. But guess what? In 12 months, that's not going to be effective. So
well, and look at this. So okay, whether that lead comes from Facebook or an open house, right? You go there, you get people to give you their information, create some sort of interest to ask you questions, right? You still got to have the ability, or your sales team has to have the ability to convert that lead into an appointment, right? So there's a skill there that it doesn't matter where it comes from, but you've got to convert it to an appointment. And so I want to point that out to everyone. It doesn't matter. I know that Zillow was a huge thing for a long time. I don't know if you use Zillow or not. Boomtown ROI is a huge thing. But at the end of the day, you've got to have a conversation with these people. So tell me in a nutshell, with these Facebook leads or open house leads, what's the strategy with them? What are you guys using?
So the fortune's always in the follow-up. The average real estate agent right now follows up like 40 minutes. It follows up twice. You guys got to get in 2015. Think how many times we're sold a day. The average human being, they sold 2,000 times a day. We don't have the mental capacity to handle it. You're probably sitting there saying, oh, dude, I'm not sold 2,000 times a day. Yes, you are. Our minds just do a brilliant job at blocking that stuff out. So you've got to hit. So when I talk about my follow-up strategy, it freaks people out, right? Because I mean, it's so aggressive. But you have to be so ungodly aggressive. So I get a lead. It's almost the same process from every lead source, different slightly. Let's say it's a Facebook lead. If it comes in with the cell phone number, they get within 60 seconds, they get a personalized right here selfie test video. Then they get within that a 60-second email. They get put on our drip campaigns. They get put on our alerts. We do a Monday motivational email that goes out. We do a Friday what's happening message. Then if they have a cell number, we are also within the 14-day span, we're sending 6 additional text messages. Then a text message every 21 days for the life that they're in my system. So bye guys, sue me for.
And that's all automated. That's all automated.
No, man. You can't always automate all of the human. You can't
interaction.
Automate the human connection. Right. So the drip systems, the alerts, but certain text messages, certain you can't, dude. It's impossible to automate the human connection. So we've got a lot, probably 80% of it's automated, 20% is us still stepping in. So like if I see you in an alert, Colton, I say you looked at a property, or say look at a property 5 times, or state the property, I'm gonna do a selfie video. Hey, notice that you check. Hey, Colton, what's up, dude? Hope you're having an awesome day. I won't say dude, do a client. Hey, Colton, what's up, man? Hope you're having an awesome day, man. Hey, notice that you saved this listing. I've got some availability. Would you like to go check it out today? Or tomorrow on your way home from work. Right. So we bring in a lot of the personal flavor as well, but 80% of it's automated. So we're just hitting it. We're hitting it. My business right now. I do 0 phone calls though. We just don't have the time. We don't make the time because it's just 98% of people are opening up text messages right now. 90% of text messages open and read. 1 out of 10 phone calls is answered. So we'll do voicemail broadcasts, like a slide broadcast. But right now we're so heavy with text. And then Colton, I know you got kids, dude. When you travel, I don't know about you, but when I travel, I don't want to talk to my kids on the phone. I'm gonna get us on FaceTime.
Yeah, get some FaceTime. Yeah.
We can do this audio, dude. But people want to connect. They want to see Colton's face. They may not want to see my ugly mug, but they're seeing. What's the next best thing to being face to face is a personalized video. So, dude, I hit the hell out of personalized video. Everything I'm doing, and then the cool thing is I can integrate that while I'm driving around. Past clients, whatever it may be. Hey, was just driving down the street, just thinking about it. You want to check in, see how you and family doing. Hope you have a dope day. Dude, they don't want to talk to us either. So the 15-second personalized selfie videos are so powerful, and people are opening.
So here's a question. You're connected with these through selfie videos, through text message. At what point are you presenting to these clients, or has the presentation kind of gone out?
So yeah, our strategy right now in 2015 is especially because in our market, we're in a hardcore seller's market, meaning things happen fast. Certain areas, you got 1 month's worth of inventory in the marketplace. So let's just say a buyer, for example. We are so uber aggressive at getting our buyers into a property, right? So everything that we're doing is just we're not trying to meet with them first. We're not trying to have an appointment first. We just want to meet face to face. The stat is 66% of buyers were the first agent that they meet with in person. So for us, it's just all about being first.
So these are leads that are coming off of signs, Facebook, website, anything like that.
Houses, whatever. I'm a believer in you don't do 1,000 things, right? Success is doing 1,000 things. It's doing a few things brilliantly, thousands of times. So for us right now, we're chips all in our mega open house strategy. Our Facebook free squeeze page, which is we generate thousands of free leads every single month through that strategy. Pretty epic strategy, and then our paid Facebook traffic. But when you look at that, like I've got a team. So when you talk about our team size, most teams our size are spending hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on marketing, right? I mean, we spend about $24,000, right? So you're able to do this and prospecting that.
$24,000. How often are you spending that?
A year. I mean, that's my ads budget.
Okay, for your ad budget. Okay.
I'll say that. I mean, so when we take that down, okay, well, yeah, we got equipment for open house signs. You got websites you're paying for. I don't classify those as marketing though. But yeah, so these are people coming. Any source that they come in, it doesn't. Here's the thing: it doesn't matter just because it's an expired lead or it doesn't. They're a human being. Human behavior doesn't change. Your human behavior from you buying a car to buying a house to buying a cell phone. It's the same process, right? So human beings are human beings. So to me, I don't think pay attention to lead source. People go, oh, this is a shitty lead source. I'm like, no, dude, it's just your attitude toward that lead source is shitty. It's a human being. There's no such thing as a cold lead. Unless the human being, they pass away and their body's cold. But at that point, they're all human beings that may or may not do business with you. But if you do your job, you increase that likelihood. So yeah, right now we are aggressive. Sellers is a different beast, but right now the buyers, we are so uber aggressive at just getting them into a home. We don't try to pre-qualify them first. We don't bring them into our office. We just get them into our house and then we do the consultation right then and there.
Awesome. So you're doing a consultation. Have you guys used anything like Hangout or FaceTime to do consultations and just get contract signed, DocuSign?
Yeah, because we Phoenix is a big reload area. So you get a lot of people from the Midwest, Northwest move down here. So either way, I'm doing a consultation. And if it's got to be like this through a Skype call or whatever, absolutely, we're doing a Skype call. If it's got to be through a speakerphone setup, whatever it may be, we're having a consultation of some sort, right?
So the purpose of the consultation is to pretty much set the expectation then. And are you guys getting contracts signed with these buyers, or are you just working them and praying that they don't slip out?
Well, when you say we, when you have a team
Your team.
environment, you can't mandate everybody to do everything. Me personally, and I don't sell homes anymore. Like I always joke with my team, if my mother's buying a house, she goes to a teammate. I refuse to sell real estate anymore, just because again that puts back in retraction mode. Yeah, I will not work with a client without a buyer broker sign. I mean, it's just a buyer broker, buyer employment agreement, whatever it's called in your area, it has to be done. But most agents have a tough time with them because they don't know how to ask for them. So everything in life is intentional. So like, for example, when we meet somebody at a property, when we're touring the property with them, we're using that time to fill out our dream home form. What do you like about this? What don't you like? Why don't you like that? Why do you like this? What are your needs? Oh, these rooms are too small. What kind of size would be ideal for you and your family? Like we're nailing that in, right? So then I go into, so we identify exactly what their dream home forms are. I start every consultation with this script though, which allows me to ask. It gives me permission to really ask any question that I want. So I just tell them, hey, in order for me to serve and support you at the highest level, I have to ask a lot of questions. I have to have 100% clarity on exactly what your expectations are and what your goals are. I find the worst place for me to serve and support you and helping you through this process is to base off of assumptions. So I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. I apologize if they sound redundant or repetitive, and I apologize if they sound high pressure. There's no right or wrong. Nothing is meant to be pressure. There's no right or wrong to these answers. Again, it's just to give me clarity of what you're looking for, what your goals are, what your expectations and timeframes are. So then I ask certain questions like, okay, in a perfect world, when would you be sticking the key into the front door of your new home? What would moving be? Okay, if we find your house today, the house that meets all your criteria, this dream home today, are you willing, prepared, and at a point where you're willing to come back to the office and meet and write an offer? So it doesn't mean if they say no, I'm not like, okay, why not right there? But it just lets me know how to prep for objections that I'm going to hit it coming up pretty quickly. Objections are like 99.9% of the time, unless you're just dealing with a total asshole, are always a lack of education. Right, so we spend so much time. Like, dude, I'll take out, and I have agents on my team. For example, Chris Marks, one of my agents, 4th of July weekend, he put 4 different buyers under contract. Just met them that week, all under contract in the same weekend. One of them was your multiple offer situation where our offer was $3,000 under the next highest offer. So people are like, oh, I don't like buyers because it's too much work. I'm like, dude, buyers to me, I mean, it's now money. Our consultation process is so in depth. We know how to qualify them. I meet a buyer today at open house. I go get him in properties tomorrow, and we're signing a deal. So to me, it's like, okay, buyers take me 4 hours. Shit, by the time I got my listing paperwork and ordering my signpost stuff, I've got more time to do a seller. So the whole thing of I want to go after sellers because it's less time consuming. No, it just means that your buyer process, because everybody in this industry just wants to focus on their seller process.
Do you guys utilize showing agents at all, or is it just the buyer agent works with them in every step?
Yeah, we have, and that's kind of the cool part too about all these different markets that we've been through is I've been able to kind of reinvent myself so many different times in each marketplace. So I've tried it all. I've had specific buyer agents, specific listing agents, showing assistant models. It's just never worked for my culture and for our organization. I have a lot of real estate agent friends that it works brilliantly for. So that's what I love about this business. Your style can be totally different than mine. You can be uber successful. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. If I go to the gym and I want to work out my legs, there's 1,000 extra that I could do, right? But I only need to do 3 of them to get results. So for 3, go in there, do it, whatever they are, just become the best person in your space at those, do it consistently over time, and you're going to have uber success. So, but no, my agents now do everything, right? So they're a listing agent, buyer agent. I mean, we provide all of the contract to close, so they don't touch it. You're gonna have them show to inspections, like they don't touch it from there.
So they're putting contracts together. That's what they're doing. Okay, go get contracts together, then we'll process it from there with the admin.
Yeah. So all they have to do is lead gen. So the 3 vital signs, right, that I was talking about earlier. Setting your appointments, client, then going on the client appointments, conducting appointments, and the negotiation contracts. We keep them off of everything else.
Okay.
So then what we found with that, where it wasn't so much an issue with the clientele, it became an internal culture thing. So like I said, for me, life is growth. Business to me is culture. When people are like, "Oh, dude, I need to grow my culture within my business," I'm like, "Well, it's probably it could be too bad. I say encourage them and gets, but it's like, dude, business is culture, right? So whatever works good for the culture, the energy of your team, what's important to you, your style with it, and it really had a negative effect on our culture because you get that buyer agent that works with these people, helps them out. Now those people want to sell. And they can't work with them, or we'll have one client being serviced by two people, and it wasn't a monetary decision. It was literally a culture decision.
A culture decision.
Of retention. My agents were happy with it. They didn't like it. They want to be able to service it all. Plus, they get burnt out. If all you're doing all day long is listing appointment, or buy, whatever, dude, you get burnt out. It's good to have a little bit of a flavor. So to me, my agents, they don't need to master listing presentations. They don't need to master buyer presentations. They need to master client presentations. Doesn't matter what kind of client you're with. I don't care if they're buying a 50-unit apartment building. We represent developers, luxury townhouse developments. Commercial. To me, that doesn't matter. I'm just going to master the appointment process, and then the negotiation process. That's what we keep focused on.
So I kind of want to change gears a little bit. We've talked quite a bit about the real estate sales side, but I want to tap onto the other side of what really drives you, right? I see it as 5 different pieces to our human life value: spiritual, mental, physical, social, and financial, right? And I think that there's other aspects that you've really been able to tap into with your life that propel your business, propel your financial growth forward. What would you say that, those other and most important things are that you have to do to drive your business that are not actually the sales side of it, if that makes sense?
Yeah, no, and it does, dude. And whenever I'm working with, I don't do any one-on-one coaching or consulting at this point in my life anymore. But when I was, or if I'm taking on a new teammate, I get people dialed in on clarity. It all boils down to clarity. We're all here for such a brief existence, blink of an eye. This life is over. It's done. What must happen between now and then for you to be fully fulfilled? So I had an awesome experience, dude, when I was younger. I worked in the hospital, and I was a nurse's aide on the hospice floor. And I did this for 2 years. And hospice is last resort. This is people's last resort. Peace out. They're done, right? They're just waiting to expire there. So I'm working 12-hour shifts, having these in-depth, hardcore conversations with people on their deathbeds, spending more time with them than their family members are at that point. And of the hundreds, if not thousands of patients, dude, one thing that's always just stuck with me so hardcore is every single one of them had this massive shoulda, woulda, coulda list. I wish I would have married this different person. I wish I would have taken this other job. I wish I had traveled more. I wish I would have spent more time, been a better father, better mother, whatever it may have been. This huge shoulda, woulda, coulda list. Not one of them was like, oh, dude, life was epic, life was amazing, ready for the next journey. So I realized at that point in my life, at that point in my life, I was obese, I was depressed, I was a raging alcoholic, I was broke. So I was at a bad spot, and I realized, okay, for me, dude, I was searching for a way to get out of this bad spot. From literally at a point where I was thinking about committing suicide every single day, and that's as this experience was happening. I'm like, all right, for me to get out of this depressed state, what's the opposite of depression? Is fulfillment. And I realized going through that experience that for me to be fully fulfilled in life, I've got to be not experienced with those people on the deathbeds we're experiencing, but okay, so all of us at some point in our life are going to have an internal conversation with ourselves. And it's going to be, hey, dude, here was it. There's no time to go back and change it. This is the ultimate scoreboard. What did I do? Did I piss away this one gift called life I was blessed with? Or did I get on the field, did I play ball, did I operate my full potential, did I go out and do everything I possibly can to create an epic life? Maybe I didn't hit all my goals, visions, and everything I wanted to create my life. But at least I know with full certainty that I operated at my full potential and I gave it my all and I left it all on the field. So I realized for me at that point, the only way for me to be truly fulfilled in life was to be able to answer that question by saying, yeah, with 100% certainty in my heart, because I know I gave it my all. So I just went to work.
Hey, Josh, real quick, I got a message from a couple people that they're having a hard time hearing your audio. I hear it just fine, but I don't know if maybe everyone turn up your volume. I hear it fine on my end. So I just want to stop there. Okay, so sorry, get back into that. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
So then from there, dude, it just starts leveling up. Okay, what are the things that I'm gonna like? What do I want in life? And I I think balance is bullshit. I never focus on balance. It's all life I integrate. So what are the things that are important to you, dude? So, okay, well, my health. You know, I want certain health. I mean, this is my vehicle to operate my life from. I want it to look a certain way. I want it to serve you, dude. I want massive energy, so I can go freaking slay it for 18 hours a day, then go home, be a dope father, put the kids to bed, be a dope husband, sleep as little as I possibly can. Because every time I sleep, I got to take a break from. I always joke and say, man, every time I go to sleep, I got to pause awesomeness, dude. You know,
Hey, have you ever read the book 4 Hour Work Week?
Yeah. I've read 4 Hour Work Week's dope. My favorite, I do follow Tim Ferriss. My favorite book of Tim Ferriss is 4 Hour Body. His second book.
Oh yeah,
unbelievable, dude. But yeah, I absolutely read the 4 Hour Work Week.
So in the 4 Hour Work Week, he talks about a sleep regimen. Maybe it's the 4 Hour Body. He actually talks about it, but the sleep regimen of sleeping in 20-minute increments. And
yeah.
So have you ever tried it? Gone to that level?
Buddies that do, man. I've got a lot of buddies in the kind of health and fitness and biohacking space, and I'm quite the biohacker myself. But I've never biohacked my sleep to that point. Now I do a lot where, because I've been trying to get my sleep to consistently 4 hours a night, where no brain fog, full energy. So I do a lot of certain things with taking certain supplements to get into REM sleep quicker, eliminating blue light, doing certain things with that. But I've never tried. Every 2 hours taking a 20-minute power nap, dude. It's I know a lot of guys that do it. It's successful for them. It works because you're only in REM. Your REM. It's not how much sleep you get. It's how much time you spend in REM that matters. And you're only in REM in about 20-minute segments. So that's why they really talk about doing those 20-minute power naps throughout the day.
Yeah. So the other 4 hours everyone's sleeping out there, 8 hours a night to 10 hours a night is just laziness, right?
Well, I don't want to say that. I mean, everybody's body's different, dude. Like, I mean, if you need 7 hours sleep, go get 7 hours sleep. I'm not here to judge anybody. I just know for me in my life, like who the hell am I to tell anybody what success should be for life? I just know what I want it to be for my life. I know the energy that I want, the way I want my body to look. I know crystal clarity on the outcome that I want with my marriage. I know the exact outcome that I want with my children. I know the exact outcome I want with my businesses. I know the exact outcome that I want to be perceived by others in the world from, right? So I just operate every moment of life intentionally, making sure that.
So here's a question then, as you're talking about clarity, you brought that up clear from the first of this interview. I've seen some of your videos on YouTube that talk about this. It even reminds me of Napoleon Hill talking about definite purpose, right? Being definite with your purpose and defining what your success is. Even talks about that, right? So what do you do to allow that clarity in your marriage, in your family relationship, in your business, in your health? What do you do that gives you that clarity?
So number one, you got to pay daily attention to it. Number two, you got to deal in realities, right? Like I know none of us like to think about death, but it exists. So right now, as we're on this call, I'm 33 years old right now, right? So if I live to the average age of the average human being to 84 years old, and I do the math, prorate the months, that means I only have 603 months left on planet Earth. And look how fast these months just fly off the freaking calendar, dude. So I put that number each month, I recalculate, I have that number everywhere. And so, what must I do in this 603 months of time to create the life that I know I'm capable of creating in every aspect of my life? And I just sit, I spend a lot of time thinking about that, dude. What am I going to regret? What am I not going to regret? Well, I know I'm not going to regret going to Buffalo Wild Wings and Wild Wings for happy hours. I'm not going to be like, oh shit, dude, I wish I would have watched more TV. Oh shit, I wish I would have had more beers with some acquaintances telling a bunch of stupid fucking half-truths that didn't exist anyway, right? I know that I will regret not being the best father I could be. I know that I would regret not being the best husband I could be and give my wife what I signed up for. I knew I'll regret not going out there and giving it my all to create the businesses that I want to create. I know that I'll regret not having a positive impact as many lives as I possibly can. So I just spend a lot of time saying, what do I want? Always ask yourself. It's always, what's the outcome that I have a 3-step called the GSDmode model. What's the outcome that I want for my health, for my fitness? You talk about spiritual. It's whatever it is for you, dude. If it's religion, throw in religion. It's just what it is for you. There's no right or wrong. But what is the outcome that you want each area of your life that matters to you, that's important to you? Step number 2, what are the problems and obstacles in the way? Success is not an addition, it's an elimination, right? Why don't we got to eliminate the things that are prohibiting us from doing the things that we know we must be doing to create the lives that we want to create. So what are the problems and obstacles in the way? And then step number 3 is what are the must-do action steps to eliminate the problems and obstacles to make them a reality? And every day I spend 20 minutes. Now, to me, it's reflect, plan, execute, right? So every day, 6 p.m., dude, I'm reflecting every aspect of my life. I'm reflecting on it, learning from it, growing from it, trying to be more effective and efficient at it. And I'm always planning out the next day. So, I don't do annual business plans. I don't, it's just, dude, it's daily work and getting intentional.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar, if you've been through anything with people tendering. Did I lose you? There you are.
That last part broke down just real slightly.
Have you studied with peak potentials or quantum leap or T Harbeck or anything like that before?
No, I never even heard of them. So no.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, dude. The screen's fuzzy, but I can hear you good.
Your screen's fuzzy too. What the H? Hopefully it comes through clear. It should. I've had this happen before, but so one of the things that I'm really realizing, like I've had this pursuit for, ever since I realized financial freedom was even a possibility, right? My mind is evolving. Okay, it's not financial freedom, right? It's freedom. If I was freedom with this idea of what financial freedom would allow you, what would I do with my life? And then it's about, okay, here's these priorities that I identify. Now put them in my life. When am I going to take action on this, right? And being a father, kids are like the greatest thing on planet Earth. They just make me smile, especially my own kids. Other kids I don't really care about, but my own kids I love. And so it's okay, if I want to define that relationship with them, if I want to define that relationship with my wife, how come I'm not making that the number one thing on my priorities to schedule my calendar, right? So you probably have a calendar, run a massive schedule to stay organized and stay on par and on task. Tell us, how do you regiment your priorities and what you're putting to make happen? Is that just part of your 20 minutes that you do?
Yeah. So a lot of people I think get this wrong to a point of like what you're saying of, okay, well, I need to go out there and be the best father and the best husband I can be. Well, part of being the best father and the best husband you can be is providing opportunities, right? If you can't provide a roof over the head for your kids, I'm caveman style. I'm old school, dude. It's my job to leave the damn cave every day, go out there, kill some shit, and bring it home to feed my family. And if I don't kill some food to bring home, why the hell am I coming back to the damn cave? Right? That's my number one obligation as a father, is to create opportunities for my kids, period. So some people look at this like, oh, Josh, you work 80 hours a week. You must not care about spending time with your family. I'm like, no, dude, I work 80 hours a week because I care that much about providing opportunities for my family. But the cool thing is you can't have it all. Success doesn't come out sacrifice. You just eliminate the things and get to choose what you're going to sacrifice. So I don't have cable or TV in my house, right? I choose very closely what I cut out. I don't go partake in shallow barbecues. Whatever it may be with this stuff. I'm very intentional about that. So, so I mean, it's spending, I do 20 minutes a day in my planning and my reflection. I spend an hour every week on Sundays kind of dissecting the whole week. And then every quarter, I'll take like a full day and really hit it with reflection. But it's that daily conscious work.
Awesome. Well, guys, I want to lead into some of the questions you guys are giving out. We've got about 15 minutes left. You can go ahead and either put the question, I open up the Q&A on the Hangout itself, or the link I sent you that you're probably watching it on, go ahead and post it on the thread below. One of the questions is, what are the 3 things you would recommend to a person just starting out in real estate? Immediate actionable items.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. So number 1, go get a database. Your number 1 asset in this business is the connection with your database. So get a database. If you can't afford one, go use like a Podio or a MailChimp. That's free in the beginning. But get a database every single day.
So you mean like a database management system? Is that what you're talking?
Yeah, contract management system. Yep.
Okay.
So Podio is a free one. Start shit, dude. If you have some, you can buy like a Wise Agent account at $25. Just get something we can put these human beings into, so you can reach out and continue to connect with them. So that's number 1, dude. And then number 2, become obsessed with getting a minimum of 3 human beings in that database every single day. Right? Because if you do a good job of follow-up, 5% of the human beings you put in your list will do business with you eventually. Right? So if I want to do 50 deals a year, that means I got to get 1,000 human beings that year in my database. And then of course you got to follow up, right? So the fortune to follow. But that's with, okay, you're going to take what Colton and I talked about with the follow-up strategy. So get that database, add 3 human beings in there every single day. If you're in the beginning, if you're just starting out, what am I going to go out there and do? So check this out. And I don't know the dude asking the question's name, but I was 23 years old, young punk kid, got in this business. I had nothing, right? Within 2.5 years, built $1 million a year GCI business, all off of open houses. And in the beginning, like I just begged and borrowed people's sons, whatever it was. But here's why I love open houses. I have people coming to me. They know what they're coming in for, right? They know what's up. They've identified a neighborhood, and they're far along the process. If I get an internet lead, what am I doing? Right? If I get an internet lead, then I got to go through this whole dating game to try to just set an appointment. Now I'm face to face. I got the appointment. So open houses are critical. I focus on open houses right now. Something that's slaying it for us. That's free because in the beginning, don't spend any money, dude. You don't have money to spend. You got to keep revenue. Do not start investing in your business until the revenue starts coming in. Don't allow yourself ever to go into the red. Facebook squeeze pages are pretty epic. You guys can go to my YouTube channel. I've got a lot of videos and trainings, free training on that stuff too. And just understand you're gonna have to put in the hustle. You gotta put in some hustle, dude. If you want to be uber successful, this business is eyes open to eyes closed business. You're not gonna become successful. Okay, yeah, you might hear a dude like me that says, okay, I work like 5 hours a week, right? Well, I worked 100 hours a week for 8 years building this, without taking a vacation for 5 years straight, without taking one single day off, 100 days a week. Definition of entrepreneurship, at least in my opinion, is sacrificing a certain portion of your life, living like nobody else for a certain portion of your life, so then you can live the rest of your life like nobody else. So work your ass off, get a database. I would start, if you're asking me, to start with open houses.
Yeah, open houses are one of the quickest way to create now business. Absolutely. Here's a question. What do you use for your CRM?
So I use a system called Conversion with a K. It's okay. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's $1,000 a month for the T model. Actually, right now, one of my other business ventures, I'm an owner in a software development firm. We're creating our own software right now to try to create, kind of the boom town for the single agent. That's going to be uber affordable, but for the single agent, because a lot of agents can't go afford a $1,500 a month boom town account or $1,000 a month conversion account or tiger leads. But I use Conversion right now. I started off with Wise Agent. And then about a year into it, I wanted something at a front end and a back end, meaning the website lead capture. So then I went with Real Pro Systems. Real Pro Systems is dope, dude. I love that. I mean, it's $100 a month. It's an awesome site for people, especially just starting out with. And then you get to a point maybe in 5 years where you've got 5 agents on your team. You need something a little bit more extravagant than that. But Real Pro is a great place to start. But that's the CR on my first page.
Awesome. So what are some YouTube? Is that even a possibility?
Repeat the question again.
What are some ways that a new agent can use YouTube to help their business?
Yeah, so you guys should all be using YouTube. 72% of sellers are only interviewing one real estate agent right now. So you use YouTube. It's because YouTube exists. So what are things that you can be doing? Well, education videos. Keep them short. Keep them under a minute. Education videos. Videos on, if you're doing open house, just get content is king. Push tons of content out there. Property tours. They don't really care what the video's about. It doesn't have to be some fancy green screen media production. So you go out to, like, one thing that we do for a lot of our clients is if I can't get them to go meet at the property, but I know they have a lot of interest, I'll run to that property with my iPhone. But hey, I know you weren't ready to come in here yet, but just wanted to stop by the property and create a video. So I'll do a 10-minute video. But I'll publish that live on YouTube so then everybody else can see it and see what I'm doing. They just want to see content out there. They want to see that you're active out there, and they want to see that you work your freaking ass off for your clients. So don't, problem with a lot of people is they try to get, they want to make all this shit sexy, right? Don't have the whole paralysis through analysis deal. Get out there and push out content. But I would start documenting what you're doing. Quick little tips. Educational tips. Every content that you should send out should either entertain, educate, or inspire. One of those three things and only three things. So educate them on the process, educate them on the market, educate them on other properties in the area, educate them on your open house strategies, what you're doing, whatever it may be, and then we throw in a lot of entertainment stuff in ours as well. And then inspirational stuff too. People dig that, dude. I mean, we spend out half of my content is inspirational stuff that has nothing to do with real estate, because human beings don't like you because they think that you're cool. They like you because of how you make them feel about themselves. So I'm looking to be known as, okay, they know me as the real estate agent. They get that. But I also want to have strike that emotional chord and have a different type of a human connection.
What are you doing here's a question. What are you doing to build your passive income?
So I build a real estate business that I get paid on 53 transactions a month for, and I can't tell you one address. And so that's a good chunk of passive income now. Businesses, everybody's got a different model, right? So I like to build businesses that bring in passive income. Hard part with passive income is I really haven't created passive income in that everything still takes work. Rental properties, it still takes work, right? It's still, it's mailbox money coming in, but invest whether it's residential real estate that you're investing in, that is bringing in rental income for you, whether it's your business. So, okay, my real estate business, I spent 8 years building it up. I'll get paid on 600 some transactions this year. I can't tell you one address. I could piece out for, like right now, we're in the process this year. We're going to move to Florida, my family and I. Teams in there is like, this doesn't stop. This keeps going, right? So that's a passive income source. And I'm always looking at just different affiliates, different things with that. So my podcast, start a podcast. That could build up sponsorships. Just like Colton, I mean, all my stuff's free, right? So between our iTunes and then Stitcher, let's say you're getting 50, 60,000 downloads a month. Now sponsors start paying you. That becomes a passive income source. And then a lot of what I do is okay. So I take what I've done. Let me just kind of walk you through my journey, because this will kind of explain it. So this is why being so focused, you guys, on mastery is so critical. If all you do is just be so focused on being the best person in your space that you're going to dominate, the marketplace will reward you. But you only get rewarded based on mastery. You're going to get punished like a motherfucker if you're not focused on mastery. The marketplace punishes mediocrity. So I'm going to focus, whether it's like Colton, dude, Colton's become a badass calling expireds and FSBOs. Well, now he's got other products and other things, because people are like, dude, Colton dominates the space. He's the man in this space. So I'm going to master my space, and then I'm going to start pillaring off income from that, right? So I do a 90-day mastery boot camp with real estate agents, right? So every quarter we get about 300 new agents coming in there that come in. It's all group sessions. So I spend a few hours a week doing these, and that brings me in over $100,000 a year in net, $100,000 a month in net revenue in that space, right? So then what happens there? So it's not passive. It's still a few hours of my week, but I built this business, which is passive now, to do this, right? So now I've got my real estate business bringing in this revenue. Now I've got, this boot camp that's bringing me in, $118,000, let's say on average a month, which is about where we're at today. Okay, so then now what do I do from there? I bring people in this coaching program. Well, could I do like an alumni with a membership, with a real low cost membership, that also then creates, so I might create another 6, 7, 10 grand a month passive income, right? So then, okay, well then I've got all these people in this program that are like, dude, Josh, I need an affordable IDX lead capture website where I can install my own pixels and do all this own stuff. It doesn't exist in the marketplace. So, okay, I would team up with some a group of some badass web developers, and we're creating it to help feed them. So then now we have software that it's not, it takes a lot to create, a lot of upfront expenses, but let's say in a couple of years we have 2,000-3,000 people on that software. That's monthly revenue coming in. And then I have my entrepreneur products, right? So then I coach and teach entrepreneurs on how to do really everything that I've done in my business, and it becomes for another 3-4 hours a week. That's another $100,000 a month of revenue business. The t-shirts, right? So my podcast is Get Shit Done, right? So GSDmode, my website is GSDmode.com. You guys can go check all that stuff out there. Okay, well, got GSD t-shirts. Not a big money maker, but taking, probably net close to $1,500 a month, let's say. T-shirts. So I'm always just kind of picking off what I'm doing, focused on mastery, and just keeps creating opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. So then what am I doing with all this? Well, I live frugally as hell, right? I don't live like, I mean, I wear, $8 t-shirts that I make myself. Like I don't, I live very frugally. Why? So then I can take all that coin, I can stack that cash, create other businesses, other investments, or buy, angel invest in other organizations, or if I want to go out there and start buying apartment buildings, whatever it may be, you're just creating those other opportunities.
Awesome, man. So obviously you can see that your real estate business starting back in 23 years old was a foundation that has propelled you to just launch businesses since then. And I think that's super cool. So I think we just got time for more question. What is it, maybe you could touch base on this real quick, utilizing a squeeze page on Facebook that captures leads into your database. Can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, so here's a squeeze page, you guys, is just an online ad. That's all it is. So maybe I go onto Facebook, and so I'll give you my free strategy. So I join a bunch of Facebook groups, like Swift Swap groups, buy, sell, trade groups, wherever that's in my city, in my area, business networking groups. I want to join as many groups as I possibly can. So then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to post in 10 groups a night. Right? I want to put, if you get to the point where you're like hitting 20, Facebook will shut you down for 30 days, right? Because they kind of start getting what you're doing. And they want you to pay for traffic. That's how they make their money. So I go join all these groups, and I'm going to create that squeeze page. It's just, it takes them to a link. It's an ad that they click on that takes them to my website with an IDX, lets them click on it once or twice, and then they have to opt in to further the process, right? And then that becomes a lead. So it might be, and I'm kind of edgy, so I'll put out there like, boom, check out these badass homes in Phoenix just listed with swimming pools, or whatever it may be, with a dope picture of a sparkling swimming pool. They click on it, they get brought to my website of that property or the home search of that area, whether I'm doing a single property or a search. They click on the homes, they click twice, 2 or 3 times, let's say, and then from there, they're prompted, hey, to continue viewing the site, we've got in exchange for your email and their contact information, and we sign up. Close to 20% of the people on my software right now that we're utilizing that does it. So you guys can go check out my site that I'm beta testing right now with all this. soldbyjoshua.com is the URL, but that's the one, and dude, it's killing it. Because what we're doing with it is, like, okay, if I find out Facebook, maybe because it's cold traffic, they need to spend more time on my site. So then I can say, okay, Facebook people, I allow them to click 10 times before I ask for the opt-in. Maybe organic traffic that hits, I say, maybe I give them 15 times. Maybe Google PPC, because they're putting in very specific information, I let them twice, right? So we have so many different intricates that we can change, and targeting and pixeling information that exists out there on their site. And I mean, it's brilliant, man. Look at that ass.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you being on the Winning Series interview today. This will be up on our YouTube channel here probably later today, so other people are going to watch it. Appreciate you taking the time to share with us your skills, your knowledge, and your ambition. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Yeah, you guys, I would just do one thing, and I was there. None of this has been easy. I just want you guys to know, people hear some of the success that guys like myself or other top producers or guys like Colton have had. None of this is easy, right? I've been $100,000 in credit card debt because I made bad decisions. I've had to refinance houses to pay IRS taxes. And I've been in the corner of my office a dozen times in tears, ready to throw in the towel. I get it. A lot of people have this limiting belief that these top producers must be born from a special genetic code or whatever. It's absolute utter bullshit. Right? They're just the same as you. They're just willing to out-persevere, out-push everybody else. So you're gonna get delivered pain in life. In business, life is gonna bring you pain. Use that pain to wake up, to reflect, to learn from that. Your painful moments, your biggest failures, your biggest painful moments become your best learning experiences and define you as that person. So there is no limits, dude. You just got to commit right now to who do I want to become. And then you start living every day intentionally. I mean, you can easily go out there and whoop my ass if you choose to, right? So everybody's capable. Remove the limiting beliefs out of your mind. Go out there, create an epic life, and keep kicking ass.
Well, you know what? That, to me, I look at life like this, Josh, is I don't know how in the hell, and I told Kevin Ward this a couple weeks ago, I've got this heart that's beating in my chest, right? And when I wake up in the morning, I can either choose to create this impossible game and create this level that I'm going to play at today to maximize capacity today, or I can just kind of look at, you know what, all the problems all around me and just sit and wait for it to happen. To me, is I don't know when this heart's going to stop beating, right? It could be today. There's people that were on the earth yesterday that are not here today. And I've said this 100 times, right? And you don't know when yours is going to end. So take advantage of what you have right now. Be grateful for where you're at, but create with what you've been given. So I love your style, and I love that analogy of, okay, I got 603 months left. Each one's ticking off. What am I going to do to make sure that I'm taking full advantage of getting clarity? So I appreciate that, man. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Josh, we appreciate you. Make sure to check out his website, and we will see you guys soon. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Take care.